Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank everybody attending our town council meeting Monday, June 22nd, 2026. Do a roll call. Mr. Bryant. Here. Ms. Sweet.
Here.
Ms. Buck.
Here.
Ms. Rose.
Here.
Also with us is John Myers, town manager, Dustin Huddleston, town attorney, and Ron Barrett, clerk treasurer. The minutes of council meeting June 8th, 2026, and executive meeting June 8th, 2026. Any questions?
If there are no questions, I'll make a motion to approve the council meeting minutes of June 8th, 2026 as presented.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, claims, Rhonda.
Yes, in your
Do I
packet,
need to, do I need to do executive separately or is that?
I thought you said both of them.
I just said one, I just said
Okay.
council meeting.
Okay, go, okay.
Okay, sorry, I thought.
That's okay.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the executive meeting on June 8th, 2026.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Apologies. All right, Ron, let's try this claims now.
All right, in your packet, you have a claim docket, and the claim docket went down. What was in your packet was $3,584,116.33. There were $24,773.46 of duplicate claims in there that were taken out, so the actual claim docket total is $3,559,342.87. The majority of that, the transformers in there, it's like that 1.89 million. We had a $700,000 info bill in there. And then we had 3 bond payments that totaled almost $700,000. So that's why it was, because when I saw that final total, I was like, good grief. But that's what it was with the almost $2 million transformer and the other stuff, so.
Those tend to stick out, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to make a motion that we approve the claims of $3,559,342.87.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Ordinance 2026-7, amending ordinance 2025-22, the fee schedule, second reading, Ms. Barrett.
Okay, this was at the last meeting. The only adjustment we made was to add UTV in there. So this is a second reading unless you guys have any other adjustments you want to make to the fee schedule. It's ready for approval.
Yeah, I had just made a note that Justin was gonna review it in reference to the advertising portion of that piece. Go with all that.
So do we need to advertise the entire thing once it's approved, or just that portion, or how do we?
Oh, when you asked me in the email, there's no penalty in the fee schedule. That's in the actual ordinance, so it does not require a pre-advertisement for it to be effective. So it'd just be, whenever you pass an ordinance, how do you normally advertise it?
Okay, so go ahead and advertise
So
it
you'll have to go.
in the entirety, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2026-7, amending ordinance 2025-22 fee schedule.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the ADP comprehensive services discussion, Ms. Barrett.
Okay, and at the last meeting, I kind of sprung that on you guys. And if you've had a chance to look over the ADP comprehensive, it just brings more to the table to assist with our HR responsibilities. They gave us 2 different options to do ADP comprehensive HR services and also the talent. And the talent would help us to retain employees, recruit. I'm sorry, my words are gone tonight, sorry. And so if this is something you guys would like us to do, or, you know, they send a contract, I can send to Dustin for his review. The quote that they gave us, it does expire on the 24th. So, after that, we would lose a discount that they were giving, and, you know, whether, if you wanted to do either one of those, or both of those, or none at all, that's up to you. It would be a nice addition to what we have, but
So it doesn't include the non-seasonal turnover, recruitment, or anything like that?
Did they say anything about the non-seasonal?
It says excluding planned seasonal churn.
Yes, so during the summer months, the price would temporarily increase, because it's like per employee per month.
Okay, so this was based on our normal, average of what, 145, and sometimes,
So that doesn't include seasonal 145?
no.
Okay.
The 145 is like our full-time and part-time with, fire department and stuff like that, all the.
How many part-time departments?
I have no idea off the top of my head.
Yeah, we've got like 60 full-time, I believe. 65 full-time. and
So the
then-
majority are part-time?
Mhm.
So I did have a couple of questions. One is, does the town have a handbook already? Because that was one of the things.
We do have, and they would keep it updated, they would update it yearly.
And is that hard for us to update yearly? I mean, the school does that yearly, so.
It's, I think Scott, when he was in this position, could attest to that. It is kind of hard to keep it updated annually, don't you?
The handbook is difficult to update on an annual basis. It mostly got updated every, 5 years is what it typically got done.
What was so hard about it, I guess?
Just trying to keep up with all of the regulations and all of the, HR standards.
The biggest issue with the town of Edinburgh is the broad range of services and trying to have one policy that encompasses all of the different services like fire to golf course to parks and rec. That was the issue that we always came up with, and every time you would pass one, you'd realize that you missed something and then you'd have to go back and adjust it for some issue that had popped up.
And Ms. Sweet, if I could interject too, I was on the school board for 10 years. We used an outside third party. It was Neola that updated our policies and,
Update the policies, but not, we do the handbook.
okay.
Yeah, but yes.
That go in the policies?
And it's the handbook for employees in general. And then job descriptions, do we have job descriptions for all of the employees?
I'll say, yes, it's probably 95%.
So we already have those created.
Yes.
And then it talked about like online training and workshops, and I am concerned that being short-staffed, maybe there wouldn't be a lot of time for online training and workshops, and then maybe that wouldn't be true, but.
So does, the amounts that we would pay, that gives us a certain amount of hours a week, a month, or?
It gives us what, like 4, because they base it on it's so much per employee per week. And so it just depends on how many employees we have that week, what it would cost. And that gives us, 4 dedicated meetings with the HR professional?
At least.
Yeah, at least 4.
But she said we could meet with them as much as we needed to.
I guess my concern is that we're getting ready to get the report from Baker Tilly. It would sure be nice to have that report
Before we.
before we
That's,
added the extra. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Mine also. Mine as well.
and that's fine, we can visit this
I don't know
again.
what.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, and we have further discussion after we do get that report. That was the only thing I was gonna suggest, because I did look it over too.
And just for timing, that report should be ready in the next couple of weeks to have an internal working group discussion. It'll be the draft will be finalized at the end of this week and then go through internal review. So it should be before the middle of July that report would be ready for.
Because it basically looks like, Rhonda, from what we're paying now to, it's almost like which grant is they're doing, more or less like almost like a $60,000 jump, right? Approximately. Yeah, I agree with, in my opinion, if they wanna see what Baker Tilly comes up with,
That's fine, thank you.
I'll make a motion to table the ADP comprehensive services discussion, future date.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the infrastructure systems pay application number one, Ms. Barrett.
Yes, this is for the, mixers and the hydrants, I believe. And this is the first payment in the amount of $296,502.60. Is that correct, Taylor? Yeah.
Yes, yep, 296.
Okay, yeah, $296,502.60. It's, Bill has looked at it and has approved it, and so it's ready for approval, and it will need approval for somebody to sign off on it.
Yeah, how did you get that total again? Because I was confused. I was gonna ask, okay,
Yeah, that balance to finish.
so you've got the 115, 105.40, and then you have the 110, the 110,675. Are those two, what was that total you just gave us?
That was
There's
this one
a
here.
line number 10, amount.
Oh, that, okay, is that those two?
That's what it's gonna take to finish the project.
Okay, I misunderstood then, because I talked to Bill today, and that's the number that he gave me, was the 115, that's why I was confused.
No, that's the balance to finish.
Okay. Well, and in his defense, he didn't have it in front of him, I was reading it to him. So,
And this does not include what you've got for tonight, right? The
Correct,
change order? Okay.
correct.
yeah, that's what I'm doing, yeah. Okay. Any questions?
So this is is this the total amount due now or just a partial amount?
This is the first payment.
The first payment.
This is application payment number 1 for $296,502.60.
And this is still with the SRF?
Correct, yep.
Okay. Okay, if there are any other questions or discussion, I'll make a motion to approve the infrastructure system pay application number 1 in the amount of $296,502.60.
Second.
We have a
All
second.
those in favor?
Yeah, go ahead.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna abstain from this.
Okay. And we need a signature,
Yes. I'm sure to somebody to sign.
John. Okay. Motion for Town Manager John Myers to sign off on the infrastructure systems pay app number 1 as presented.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
The fine screen quote, Bob.
This is a piece of equipment that's currently broken out completely, not in operation. It's being bypassed right now. It's something IDM has looked at already, we got a report on it. So it's something that needs to be repaired, replaced. It can't be repaired, it needs to be replaced. I only got one quote on this piece of equipment. I've asked for 4, there's been 4 companies come out and look at it. I've waited 2 months to get more quotes for this thing. And the reason I brought it tonight, because this same company also quoted the grit screw. And I'd like to get it approved as soon as possible. I'd like to get both of them approved. But for now, the fine screen, I didn't know if since I only got the 1 quote, if I got these other companies that I've been waiting 2 months on, can we document that who came and got the quotes, the scope of work, and that we couldn't get the quotes and proceed? Since IDM has already been there, it's time sensitive. I mean, I don't know how long they'll wait before they start imposing penalties. So, I mean, I'm kind of, my hands are kind of tied with it. And honestly, I'm tired of fretting about it, so.
And what was the amount?
The total amount for the fine screen is $167,000. And they put in there, if we wanted to keep the existing motor and gearbox, but it's 22 years old, I don't see a need in trying to put the new piece of equipment with something that old. I think we should just replace the whole thing and be done with it, and get another 22 years out of it.
When you say the whole thing, are you talking about both pieces of it together?
Well, that was on the next part on the grid order, but we can just do it all at one time.
You're just talking about the fine
The
screen.
fine screen, yeah. Just the fine screen by itself is $167,000.
And that's the only quote we have, is that
Yes,
167,
and-
that's what you're asking if we
and
have to have more.
I've been
quotes.
waiting 2 months on 3 other quotes, and we call them, or Jake calls them at least once a week, and they're coming, we got, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on that, we're gonna get them to you. But we never hear anything, and they don't call us, they don't send the quotes. That's why, I've done a little research, and I mean, it does seem that if we can document that we ask for the quotes from companies, and that we have the scope of work, as long as it's the same scope that's being provided in this quote, then it's something that possibly can be approved, but that would be up to you.
Is that?
Industrial.
Yeah, we actually had the same issue with Bob's apartment another time before. I think we had to it was something fixing
Yeah.
some kind of device, and it was a similar problem where you can only get 1 or 2 quotes.
Yeah.
So what I need from Mr. Jesse is what he just said, is he can send me what he's done to try to get the quotes, who he's talked to, document it, and at the next meeting, then you guys can say, this is such a unique project, that there's an exception to the quote process and you can proceed with the work.
Yeah.
So that's been done before, and it's actually with his department, because you just find that the replacement and the equipment is so unique that not many people make those quotes. So that's what needs to be done. If we can have that for the next meeting, then we can proceed with that. So that we can send it.
Yeah, I can take care of that tomorrow.
So is it now?
And that's part one, and then part two, Ron alluding to what Mr. Jesse said, is the difference of the funding.
Yeah, because my question was, if it's over 150, does it have to go out for public bid? A sealed bid?
Well, that's what he needs to send me, so I can look at it and see.
Okay. And then with this, I don't know if he has the actual funding to pay for it. We may need to do a loan, interfund, transfer loan, from either rainy day or the electric fund or something. Because his,
That's been raining long.
we don't have the greater line. His funds are low.
So is this two separate quotes?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's just a typo on how it was worded, and that's completely my fault. It had been corrected, and I just,
Would the 9,000 be on each bid, or would it be?
it's a total discount of 9,000 for both of them together.
So is it 198,500 plus 167?
Yeah, and, the reason is because he can do both of them while he was there, and he wouldn't have to remobilize to come back and set up again.
So does that include the 9,000 discount on any of them?
No, that 9,000 would come off the total amount.
So 9,000 would come off of, Mr. Jesse, just want to be clear, because we're still talking about funding, correct, Rhonda? Okay. So 9,000 would come off for that fine screen, 9,000 would come off for $167,000. Correct.
The total cost of both projects, it would come off.
Oh, just for the total of the 167, I'm sorry, and the 198.5?
Yeah, the
So
365.
that's 365,500, so
Yeah.
9,000 would come off.
Yeah.
They didn't do a very good job wording that, did they?
That's the total.
356.5.
And believe it or not, Jake, these companies are really putting him through the ringer getting this information, these quotes. For some reason, it's a tough environment out there.
So none of this was budgeted?
Basically.
I don't know how to budget. We're working off income based on 2016, so.
We have to have.
Yeah, if we have once this ball starts, if you can get IDEM to know that we're rolling in the right direction and we're making an attempt,
Yeah.
and keep them at bay.
Yeah, IDEM definitely is eager to work with communities or municipalities.
It's when we're not compliant is when.
Yeah, when you start ignoring things is when they really start dropping the hammer.
Yeah, they wanna see that you're making an effort.
They want to see the effort 100%.
There's nowhere to get any grants or anything like that.
Quick enough.
Not that I'm aware of. There may be out there somewhere. I just not my field of expertise.
Speaking of that, was Shreve, Jefferson Shreve's team was in here, not terribly long ago.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
He's requesting infrastructure funding from the feds, I believe, and that's how Nevada acquired $1 million. It's not a bad idea for probably you to reach out to that team and let them know.
I met with them here, and they're gonna schedule a meeting.
For this,
Not for this, just in
We
general
will
for
address that,
funding.
yeah.
if they can retro this, go back and pick it up.
That's what it's designed for. I think there's several communities that are getting it.
So there's something in place to maybe get future funding or
Yes.
possibly to retro.
I met with them when they were here, and they set us a time meeting with Mr. Shreve.
Where can we move it around? We have to have it, so where's the,
Or the easiest day would do another rainy day one. We did it before.
so it sounds like the first step is he needs to put together the verbiage and the letter to Dustin. And we get that drafted, and then Dustin would draft that, and then it comes back to council. And then we can start refunding at that time as well.
Yeah, we could do that.
Bob sent me the quote to you.
And the both cookies.
Okay, oh, well, I'll get all that information together for you
Is that,
tomorrow.
is it the same for the grid auger? Same scenario, it's only get one quote?
No, the grid auger I have three quotes.
Okay.
It's just the fine screen I can't get.
We should address that.
I'll send all the names of the companies and the scopes that they were supposed to provide and all the information. I'll put it together for you. I'll probably send it to John first and let him review it and then he can forward it to you.
Thank you.
So looking at the grid auger quote, that has 3 bids. So that, now, that's over $150,000. So do you need to review that before we make a ruling on?
Yeah, it may be, because it may be, as Rhonda's point, has to be a public bidding, so.
Okay, so this is gonna have to be tabled for right now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. thank you,
All right.
Bob.
Thank you, sir.
All right, the hydrant valve replacement project change order, Taylor Greathouse. Wesley.
Yes. So, hi, good evening. This is a change order for the hydrant and valve replacement project as part of spending down the SRF remaining loan dollars. This change order has 2 parts to it. Part number 1, there was a revised scope of work at various locations for hydrants and valves throughout town. The contractor worked with Bill to come up with a solution. So that is the first part of the change order for about $11,000. The second part of this change order is additional intersections for hydrant and valve replacements throughout town. Bill had some extra spots that he wanted hydrants and valves replaced, so that is the second part of this change order for about $100,000.
Council will abstain for this, anything with this activity here, so.
So what was first on this one here?
So the first part of this, there was a revised scope of work at a few different locations throughout town. The installed conditions weren't as expected, so different equipment needed to be used. And that was
It's the
about,
sheet right here where you gave us those changes, right?
yes,
And then the map that went with it.
yes. The map were additional locations, which is item number 2. Okay.
what is the total cost of the change order, is what, 110,675?
Yes.
Okay, that's what that number was. The 110,675, yeah. It's two separate things. So you, okay, you, just for clarification, Sherry, would you like her to go over that again, the changes?
Well, I see that we're adding three.
Yes.
We're adding three. And then revising is just that it wasn't what you expected it to be, so you had to upgrade your, whatever you were doing with it.
Well,
1,000.
yeah, about. So the exact changes are on this list.
Yep, okay.
So, there wasn't room to install the 6-inch insertion valve, so they needed to use line stops, just different equipment needed to be used.
Look at that, yes.
And this money comes from
The SRF.
the SRF as well?
Yeah, we would have to spend that.
Yes. And on that, well, I'll finish this and then I want to talk about the SRF loan a little bit more.
Okay. So you need now this side of this project change order in the amount of that 110,675, that,
Correct.
because there's three places, three
Yes.
sections.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Well, so these are items that were left out of the original quote?
Correct. We weren't sure if there was gonna be enough money, so we left out some other locations. We do have enough money, so we went back to Bill, and Bill said, I would really love these extra 4 spots to be addressed. So there is enough money, yes.
Okay, if there are no other questions or any discussion, John, you have anything you need to add to anything? Ron? Okay. Then I'll make a motion to approve the hydrant valve replacement project change order in the amount of $110,675 as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Stay.
Signatures
Yes, please.
on that one.
Yes.
Motion for town manager John Myers to sign off on the hydrant and valve replacement project change order that's just presented. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay.
After this change order has been accepted, we still have additional funding left over in the SRF loan. After this change order, we still have about $90,000 left. So we are working with Bill to come up with other ways to continue spending down the loan. As you know, there's no amount of dollars can be left in the loan, so we're trying to work with how close can we get to the 90 with minimizing how much we go over the 90,000. Just love it.
Does he have other ideas?
He does have other ideas. Some of the other ideas are hydrant and valve replacements in other spots throughout town, and then also some shelf spare equipment. He's been having some issues with chemical feed pumps, so looking into shelf spares of those and some other electrical equipment. He does have ideas.
Could we possibly put stores connections on the existing hydrants that would adapt to those?
You want to put what?
Stores connections, the quick connect, Justin, you wanna help me out here? It's the
Quick
FDC,
connect to the fire department. the
Oh, okay.
Different connections.
they thread on their retrofit onto them. I mean, is that something that can fit into that since
Yeah, I'm sure we could talk to Bill about it. Absolutely.
because I mean, I think it should be a group decision, not just Bill's decision. I'm not kicking Bill down because I'm here, but that's a need that could not only help the water department, helps the fire department, and in turn helps the citizens as well. So, I guess that'll be a communication you and I, or you will have with Bill, or you can as well. It sounds like we could fit that in there. So, okay. All right, thank you, Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, the Okra grants, Mr. Bonner. Julie, do you want to step up as well?
Yeah, so Mike's here tonight. I've worked with him in the past. We start
compiling all of our capital projects. Just asked them to come in tonight. Okra's another funding source. I think we've used them on the water grant. But another round of funding is opening up, so he's here tonight to kind of talk to us about the process and projects that are good projects, and just let him take it from there.
Sure.
Thanks, Mike.
Good evening, council. Mike Klein-Peter Consulting Group, based out of Greenwood, Indiana, so not too far away. Put together a packet about our firm, tell you a little bit about who we are, and then also just about the different programs Okra has to offer you. So flipping over to the first page, we've been in business since 2015. I actually used to work at the Indiana Office of Community and Rural Affairs. So my job when I worked at Okra was to check grants and make sure they were done right. Prior to that, I was a grant writer while my wife went to pharmacy school at the University of Kentucky. Over in Kentucky, I did grants over there. So when I moved back, I worked for Lieutenant Governor, and my job was to make sure the grants were done right. And I'm like, I used to write grants. Why am I not out on my own writing these grants? So I left and have been hiring staff since. You can see we average about 20 grants funded a year. So you see in 2026, we've had 4 funded this year. I have 11 grants that I've submitted that I'm waiting to hear back from. So I anticipate I'll finish around 20 again this year, hopefully more, we'll see. The next slide just shows you Okra grants are competitive. They got a number of grants, but in the water wastewater category on March 2nd of this year, they announced 12 winners statewide. Our firm submitted 3 grants and we had all 3 grants funded. Those were Connorsville, Crawfordsville, and Sweetser. Last August, they awarded 11 water wastewater grants statewide, and you can find that on their website. We submitted 6 applications, and we had City of Elwood, City of Montpelier, Town of Cynthiana, Town of Thorntown, Town of Cloverdale, and Town of Bloomingdale all submitted. All 6 received funding, so we had a really good round that round. But we had a lot of success with Okra. We currently serve 107 municipalities across the state. I try to be the person you see. I don't get a job and then turn you over to somebody else. I do have 3 little girls though, 7, 10, and 13, and so sometimes I have a conflict, but I'll show you our team. But for the most part, you'll be interacting with me. I get that question a lot. We have a total of 16 staff scattered across the state with over 115 years experience. That's one thing I think differentiates our firm from other firms is a lot of Okra employees that have retired. We've hired them, they're now retired, working part-time, and they've just got a lot of institutional knowledge to help our team. We also are working on the water project you just discussed. We're doing Davis-Bacon wage compliance. We're making sure the certified payrolls are done correctly on that project. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention as well. We are working on that current project. The pictures on the next page are the team. You can see I'm the rookie with 10 years experience. Beth Gove has 36 years experience. She lives in Whiteland there. Neil Brook, 19 years. Greg Beimer, 28 years. Greg was the former interim director of Okra at one time. So he stepped in and filled out before. So if I'm not available to come, somebody that's coming will have a lot of experience, but for the most part, you'll interact with me. So that's just a little bit about our team. What does Okra have to offer you? I'm looking at the page that has the red octagons on the left side. They have water grants, wastewater grants, stormwater grants, owner-occupied rehab grants, public facility grants, light clearance, and planning grants. I'll go into each one here in just a second, but the Okra grants are competitive. There's 2 construction rounds every year, one in June, one in December. What they do is they score and rank your projects, and whoever scores highest get funded, and they just go until they run out of funds. So you don't know what the magical score is to get funded, every round is different. You are allowed to have 3 open grants at a time. Now, the council has to prioritize first. You have to tell me which grant you want to go after. We have to get that grant funded. And then once you sign construction contracts, then we can go after a second grant. But I can't go after 2 grants at the same time. You got to pick one horse, get all the way to the construction signing, and then you can do another. So ultimately, it's up to council to let me know which grant, if any of you are interested in pursuing. Water wastewater is currently, you can get a grant of up to $750,000. Requires at least a 20% match. So I tell everybody, There's a chart there to use for the public and everybody in the room. If your project's over $1 million, I can get you $750,000 from Okra, but you have to have $250,000 in matching funds. Based on the discussion earlier, it sounds like the wastewater fund might be a little light right now. If you were so choose to do a wastewater project in the future, a lot of communities team up like the state revolving loan fund with Okra, and that's where you would get that matching funds from. There's also, the big thing with these Okra grants are to improve the lives of residents. These projects have to impact residents. They're not for economic development, they're not for new housing, they're to improve the everyday lives of residents. Stormwater grants, we can get up to $750,000. That category only requires a 10% match. Typically in that category, you're looking to improve flooding residents are experiencing, sometimes water in roads, water in around their house, things like that, to install new stormwater infrastructure. Flipping over to the next page, there's public facility grants available. Public facility grants available. Those are fire stations, public community centers, daycares. And I'll send this slide deck to Julie with an update there that lists out everything that's available. But it's mostly fire stations, not police. Don't know why. But fire stations, community centers, daycares, libraries, things like that are what's in that category. Up to $750,000 in that category as well. And lastly, blight clearance. You can get up to $500,000 to tear down a commercial piece of property. That's important. It's got to be commercial, or in the past used to be commercial. It also does require the town to own the land underneath it. A lot of people want you to tear down their eyesores, but they want to keep their land. So we have to follow the URA and get an option to purchase, but we have to own the land after the town being. So if that interests you, I told them I'd kind of keep this presentation brief. I can expand a lot on any one of these. Every grant's a little bit different. But flipping over to the next page, just kind of in general, if you wanted to go, I get asked, what's it going to cost me to pursue an Okra grant? That's the main question I always get. What's it going to cost? So these 7 things are the things needed, or the things that's going to cost you money to go after the grant. So I always like to talk about them up front. The first is you have to do it, qualify by a low to moderate income based on your census tract, which the town automatically does. So if we do a project that impacts all the residents of the town, then we automatically qualify for Okra. So that would check box 1. Box 2 is you have to have a preliminary engineering report for whatever project you go after, water, sewer, stormwater. The PER can be super simple. It can be a little 10-page document if you have matching funds on hand. If you don't have matching funds on hand, then you have to think about where are you going to get your matching funds. If you get them from a local bank loan, they won't require as much paperwork as if you go to the state revolving loan fund. So you kind of got to think about how big of a project are we going to do, and then where are we going to get our matching funds. That's where Taylor, I know we've worked on 5, 6, 7 projects together. Your engineer will help you with what the size of the project is. Then you meet with your financial advisors, and they would recommend. And typically it's a team effort. We get on a call together and we talk about this and work through it. So the big thing is that preliminary engineering report. It could be a 10-page document, or if you go to SRF, it could be a 300-page document. So I can't really tell you what the price on that is, but that is one cost you'll need to consider before you go after an Okra grant. The next thing is site control. What that means is when we apply, we have to have all the easements for the project, or have an option to purchase the property. So I always say that up front. If we don't have any easements, we're doing work at the plant, we already own the land, then you don't have any costs there. But if we do have to get it, there could be some costs. The 4th thing is environmental review. Our firm does not charge application fees. We've had a pretty good success rate with Okra, so we kind of know if you got a good project or not. We don't charge an application fee. The only fee we charge is that environmental review cost. It's $5,000. That does take 90 days to do at a minimum. And so sometimes I get calls at the last minute to come in, but we have to start 4 or 5 months ahead to get through all the hurdles to be able to apply, and that's one of them. So that is a cost our firm charges. It's required by Okra. It's $5,000. Number 5 is a local match commitment. You'll have to pass a resolution committing your matching funds. That's where if you're gonna use a bank, you get a bank loan letter that says contingent on getting the Okra grant, here's where we're gonna get our money. Number 6 is one of the most important because it stops so many projects. It's the SAM number. That thing is very difficult to keep updated. It's an annual thing. It's only good for 12 months. And every time these clerks go to update it, they change the system on you. They change something about you.
Mary's working on it right now.
So that's a big one to keep updated, and I think you're active right now currently, which props to your clerk on that because that is a hard process. And then the last thing is we got to conduct some public hearings. So when you look at your costs, depending on the preliminary engineering report, it's not that bad for a shot at $750,000. If we come in and don't get funded, we just go back in the next round. So that's kind of what Okra has to offer you in a nutshell. There's one other program I didn't mention, which is the owner-occupied rehab program. That program is to fix low-income housing, roofs, furnaces, HVAC. You can get up to $350,000. It's a 10% match. Any homeowner that meets the income guidelines could get a maximum of $25,000. It's a great program. The biggest, I've got 4 or 5 going right now. The biggest issue I run into is you get $350,000 after you pay the grant administrator and the inspector. You only have $250,000, which is 10 houses. You got to pick 10 houses in the whole town, and then you upset a bunch of people that they get picked. So that is a new program that's out there. A lot of people have really liked it. It has roofs, furnaces, HVACs. So that's kind of Okra in a nutshell, but I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Do you have any questions for my council?
No, I don't. I know Sarah Betts worked closely with, you know, like you said, on all this, so.
Julie and I had talked about this pretty extensively and felt like Mike would be a good fit to help us try to track down some of this Okra stuff. And their team is extremely well respected in that industry. So we can always, as we just got to have another wastewater deal that we can get.
I agree.
So when would be a good time, if, I guess the timeline, if we said August, June was June, but looking at December, if we said, hey, we would like to try this for our wastewater, when would we start that?
Yeah, we would probably start in the next month, honestly. The other thing I did fail to mention is Okra has 2 rounds per year. The December round is the only round you can team up with SRF. But Taylor, correct me if I'm wrong, to go in for SRF, you had to submit some paperwork by April 1st. So really, we could come in round 2 with a bank loan or with the Indiana Bond Bank, but that's up to your financial advisor to recommend. But typically, SRF has the best interest rates. So it's kind of one of those things that it's like, look, if we need to go December, we can. December is also where all your big projects go in. What I mean by big projects is when you team up with SRF, it's usually a $3, $4, $5 million project. In the scoring criteria I went through with John and Julie, you get points based on how big your project is. The bigger your project is, the more likely you are to get funded. So I don't know how big our project is, but I do want to caution you, if you go in round 2 with a little project and a big round, it could, worst case is you don't get funded, you come back the next round. That's the worst case. But I just don't want to promise the moon and not deliver, because that is going to be the most competitive round out of the 2. But I think it's really comes out of PER though, and what Taylor and her team can get done and what time they need as well. Because she'd have to complete the PER and tell me what what improvements we're gonna make, and then I've got to start that 90-day clock. So if we're in June and it takes her July, August, and she gets it to me at the end of August or September, I can't see her face right now what she's thinking. But then I need 90 days before we submit, so October, November, December. So I'd really be pushing her for like an August deadline. Yes. So.
Something to think about. Thank you, Mike.
Yes, thank you for your time.
Other business. Jim.
No, that's right.
Nothing for me, sir.
Dustin.
No, sir. Just want to give kudos to the electric and the water department, the street department, and
Sarah Beth and Daniel, I think they're ahead of schedule for the firecracker festival. The electric's out, the water's out. Sean's ahead of schedule. Things are going smoothly.
Thank you, John. Ron?
Yeah, if you guys remember last December, I brought to you where the commercial vehicle excise tax and financial institution tax, they changed the statute on that, where it used to be that the county would determine how it is split up by levy, and the council has the opportunity to decide where they want that to go. Well, they've also added the motor vehicle excise tax, and that will go into effect next year, right, Scott? When we get next year. So we will need a decision again on that, whether you want it to be distributed by levy, like it has been, if you want all of that to go to one fund. The only thing with having it go to one fund is, then that means less money for the other funds that are used to getting that. And I think the way we did the motion last year, we did it by percentage, and it should have been by levy. So I would like, with the council's approval, if you want to continue splitting it by levy, I think it would be a good idea to have an actual resolution, so that's, maybe have Dustin draft a resolution for all three of those taxes when we get those to continue to be split by levy. So I guess asking for, to allow Dustin to draft a resolution for that, if that's how you choose that you want that money distributed.
So, entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
She's got to spell it.
Chief Little?
Excited for the July 4th stuff, actually. Everything that, from talking to Sarah Beth and Daniel on them, it sounds like we could have a really good crowd. It's gonna be a good time. And celebrating good old USA is always an important thing. The older I get, the more it hits you hard in the heart, and so excited for that. Other than that, if somebody would please give Mother Nature a chill pill.
Yeah.
We would greatly appreciate that. That's about it.
Thank you, Chief. Julie?
Nothing, sir.
Justin?
Nothing tonight, so.
Kevin?
You should have an email in your inbox, late tonight, reference an open bid coming up here Friday. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. It'll be for the next council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Mom?
No, I haven't, yeah.
Sean? Stan? Daniel?
Yeah, we do have the 4th of July coming up. I feel like it's already been mentioned, but I have to mention it again. And John's right that the teams, the other departments have done a lot of work already to help us out for the upcoming event. So we're excited about it. It's gonna be a longer day, but 3 bands, all kinds of vendors, car show. It's just gonna be a really good day. So if you're not there, you're missing out, is all I'm saying. So put it on your schedule, July 4th, downtown.
Beer garden.
Beer garden.
Sign, yeah.
Yeah. You might forget you've been there, you got a beer garden. That's all. And we do have some, I don't know if you've noticed, we've got 2 of the banners up downtown coming in. The rest of the corner poles have them as well. I just was holding off a little bit, but some extra downtown decorations are coming up as well.
They look nice, Daniel. They look really nice.
Sarah Beth?
I just wanted to update you on, Emily and I have been working on the website, so revised, we've been going through that. We're at the process now where we're putting together the site map. So basically, when you get on the homepage, just how the departments are gonna look, what that path to find the information that you're looking for is on. So we're working on that right now with Revise. And then we had a Zoom call today with, it's called Text My Gov. And so basically looking at how can we communicate and engage the public more. So they could sign up for notifications about meetings or commission meetings that are coming up. They could sign up to learn about events or programs. It could also be used for if we have a boil water advisory or there's an outage, we could put a map and text that area and let them know. And so that's something we're looking into. It would maybe help with just, I know with all the construction that we have, things are constantly being hit, and our crews are having to go to each house and put door hangers, and it's just not the most effective use of time and energy for them. So we're looking into it, and so we're hoping to they should have us a proposal in the next couple days, and then, so we'll submit that before the next board meeting. Yeah, and as it's been said tonight, I've been working on some housing initiatives. So actually, right now, there's a housing coalition discussion going on at the Johnson County Public Library with different entities from the county. And tomorrow, I think Julie is also attending, there's an AIM webinar in the morning on the housing approach to residential growth and make sure that it complies with the new HEA bill that was passed, which actually kind of rolls back zoning for local municipalities to encourage residential development, but obviously that comes with some challenges as well. So working on that, working with Spaces for All, they're part of the Johnson County Housing Coalition. So we're looking at some vacant properties in town. As Mike mentioned, the owner occupied rehab grant, that is something that we've talked about and have we'll look into. Edinburgh's rental rate is pretty high. I think it's 51%. And so most of the municipalities like Franklin, I know Town of Hope is actually doing it right now. They have an application process that they do for the owner occupied. So that'll be something we'll look into probably for next year.
Thank you, Sarah. Well, take us out, I actually jumped over something. I met with Kevin at the electric garage, and he showed me the technology that we currently have with, help me butcher this, is it Tantalus? No? Tantalus, sorry, and Doppler. And through the storm, I asked, how do we know what's out, and how do we see this? Kevin showed me in real time, as power would go out, he could see it. And he would know, and he could dispatch, in a sense, he would work as a dispatch. And we're working possibly at integrating that with the water. So there's a lot there. And I've asked Kevin at some point in the future to just show us what that looks like. And it is absolutely mind-blowing. And I think there's a lot of technology there that we can tap into that I frankly didn't know existed. So I think we are leaps and bounds above other communities that are neighboring us. And we really applaud ourselves for being this far advanced. You could see almost, what was your percentage that you could tell? You got reporting you're 500 meters short, right?
Yes, we still have about 511 meters to change out, and then we'll be 100% AMI on the electric side. And then we'll concentrate on the water side and make them 100%.
So we'd be able to basically see if your power went out at home, Kevin would know almost instantly, or whoever that would be. And then those guys could actually check in with Kevin in real time as they arrive, as they leave. That was stemmed up from a safety factor from AES,
Correct.
where one of their employees was found, passed away in a vehicle that nobody had accountability of. So Kevin had this and said, well, we can do this, we can use this as a dispatch method. Very similar to what both chiefs do with their units. We mark our statuses, so everybody knows where they're at and what they're doing at any given time. So really neat technology, and I'm really impressed with it. So, and we've already afforded it, it's ours. So it's just, Kevin and I think Bill will be more to show what this is in the next meeting and really.
Just another part to it.
Yes, yeah. All right. Forgot about that, Kevin, so thank you.
They started that Tantalus, about, how long ago was it we started putting those meters in?
2019.
Yeah,
2019, so, yeah, I think that was something Steve brought, was Tantalus. And then, did you or Steve bring the Doppler?
Bill actually brought
Bill
them.
brought Doppler, okay.
and I think you guys have kind of integrated together now, or you have, and it's a
We're
good
working
vision.
on further technology to connect those two systems together. And they also have a component for the customer notification for, as Sarah had mentioned, the boil advisories and boil orders. There's some different technologies out there that can assist with that.
So that's part of our hope too, instead of knocking on doors, so. Okay, all right, I'll open up the public comment. Or any, please state your name and your address for the record.
There are none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you all return.